Alright boys, what's good? Welcome back. I'm in a new crib and this time I am alone. For the first time in probably 3-4 months, I'm entirely alone with nobody else around me, and I want to make this video to talk about the lonely chapter. Now, this title is going to be a bit more dramatic than my actual situation because my business partner from Germany is coming to Bali in 3 days from now. But just being alone for, I think it's like a week by myself, being able to fully focus reminded me of the time that I was truly alone. And in this video, I want to tell you guys about that part of my story and about my opinion that being alone is absolutely necessary to actually succeed in life. See, when I had nothing, guys, I was in university, I was doing a study that I didn't like, and I first found out about this whole online money shit. You're indulging into a game with all odds against you. The system is not here to help you with that. The programming towards your parents, towards your environment is definitely not built around you taking a leap of faith and building something you truly enjoy. And low-key, like, the whole world doesn't really want you to escape because everybody kind of benefits of you becoming an employee in some big company, and nobody except yourself benefits from being an entrepreneur and doing your own thing. And this is exactly why being alone, in my opinion, is one of the most important things that you have to incorporate in your journey, because it all comes down to what I just said: incentive. I like to live life knowing that anything I work on and my true purpose and the passion that I put most time into is something that I truly want to do. Not you, not my mom, not my dad, not my best friend. It's something that I want to do. And the problem I see occur with myself and my own thoughts and my own actions whenever I am consistently around other people for prolonged periods of time is that no matter how hard I try, I will always fall partially into their incentive. And it makes a lot of sense, right? Because we're all here to, take each other into account. And if you're just gonna do your own thing, you're kind of a dick. Like, let's be real. Nobody wants to live with some dude who only does what he wants. You can't really do it like that. Like, the world just simply doesn't work that way. And because of that, I found that being alone is absolutely essential. And it doesn't always have to be months, years, like some of these gurus you see online tell you about, like this super exaggerated way of being alone. It can be 7 days, dude. It all comes down to which phase of your journey you're in. But the fact that incentive, right, and you being able to do whatever you want for a prolonged period of time will result in the outcome that you want is an undeniable fact. So let me take you guys back to when I had zero support, when I was doing the impossible, just like you may be doing right now, with all cards stacked against you. So I was living in a small dorm room in Amsterdam. The structure of this building was really unique because it was a hotel designed for students. So the way this worked is that throughout the school year, half of the building would be designed for students to live in. So I lived in a hotel room for super cheap rent. Plus I got subsidy from the government. So I was paying like actual net costs only around 150 euros a month, which is a steal. And also my only option. Because for the guys that know a little bit more about my story, I was barely working at that time. I was barely scraping like the 300-400 euro a month mark. So this was all I could afford, really. I could afford that. I could get my food, and that's kind of it. I didn't really have any other money left at the end of the month, but I was getting through with this. In total, I lived there for 3 years, and these have been the most important years of my life so far because this is where I built all my fundamentals. This is where I hit my first 1K a month, our first 5K a month, our first 10K a month, and it's also the place where I started with zero. So throughout these whole 3 years, I built myself up for the first time. After those 3 years was the first time I started traveling and, being able to actually get support and some cards in my hand that I could play, and people around me having a little bit more trust in what I want to do in my life. So during this period, guys, I've never been alone as much as back then. You gotta imagine I was on a whole floor with all these students. We had a shared kitchen. It was super fun. All these people were super fun, yet I was kind of an outcast in that group. Until this day, sometimes I think about it, like, it's kind of crazy how nice these people were. And I purposefully did not build any actual relationship with these people because I felt at the time that there was one thing that needed to happen. I had one goal, one necessity, and that was just to make money. And I remember these people asking me all the time, like, bro, what are you doing? Because I wasn't around. I was always in my room. I didn't even go to the kitchen, bro. Like, again, we have the shared kitchen. I did not go to that fucking kitchen. I would literally walk to the supermarket, grab this salad, this Caesar salad from the supermarket, which are like, I don't know, they're not that healthy, but I would take that, go to my room, eat that behind my laptop, and just work. This is also the period where I had my longest 6 a.m. streak. This is something I used to do all the time when I was really in that grind phase. I would set challenges together with my friend who literally just left out of Bali. And we would set challenges together and go for 30, 45, 60 days straight, waking up at 6 a.m., doing work. And it was a crazy time in terms of like the progression that I made. Every day I would wake up, I would step out of my bed. The coffee machine was 5 steps away. I think I can get there in 5 steps from my bed. 5 steps away, I would put a coffee up, walk to my laptop, open that shit up, grab my coffee, and just start working. We would meet 6:15 in the Discord together. I was like 40 minutes away from where my friend lived, so like we did not meet up in real life. And we would just work, dude. We would just work all day. And it was a fucking beautiful period. Even if I look back at it right now, like it was a beautiful period where the real magic for me happened. Now the reason I'm making this video is because this period reminds me of that long 3-year period of me being alone. And again, it's only 7 days. It's not that I can even compare this closely to the way my life was back then, but I did get reminded so many times of like the silence that it has of being alone. Like you wake up, there's nothing. You can shower whenever, there's nobody to talk to. For me, it has a magic side to that. Now, I know there are some people out there that are watching this video, and I know a lot of people in real life that have that too, that hate being alone, which I personally never really had. Like, I always have been quite comfortable with being alone. Because when I was younger, I would have way more of an anxiety problem, like having anxiety towards other people, social anxiety. So being alone was more of a comfort state for me, which I guess worked in my favor. But if you are somebody that has problems with being alone, I really want to push this onto you, that although you probably have insane social skills and will naturally be a better talker than somebody that can't sit in a room alone all day, in this beginning grind phase of your journey, when nobody believes in you, you're making it very, very fucking hard for yourself if you can't be alone. Because when you're around people all the time, when you're trying to achieve a goal, there's only really 2 things that you can do. Either you're gonna take advice from them, meaning that you are the listening ear, they are talking, and it constantly goes, and you absorb energy, you absorb information, or you are the one spewing it out. You're spewing your plans out. You're talking about all these things. And of course, a conversation is back and forth, but it will lean to one of these sides. It will be either a dominantly receiving conversation where you again get information, or the other way around. The problem with both is that, as you probably already start to realize as I'm talking about this, both ways of this are in opposite ways ruining the momentum that you could have built by actually putting in the work. If you're only receiving incentive, if somebody's just only telling you what to do and helping you with solving these problems all the time, you are never going to build your own vision. You're never going to build your own purpose, and it will never come 100% out of your own mind. Now, on an objective scale, of course, that's not bad at all. Having somebody to help you with your vision will probably create a better, more thought out, and overall more effective strategy and structure. But the problem lays in the incentive part. I think it's extremely important to build 100% your own vision first before you start receiving feedback onto this. You never know what you truly want until you are alone and you give yourself actual time to think about it in silence. No YouTube, no music. Silence, dude. Silence. Just being able to think what you actually want to do. The other side of the coin, where you think you have this vision and you're going to spew it out to people, is something that you already hear more commonly talked about. It's like a dopamine farm. You are spewing out all these ideas that don't exist yet, and whether you want it or not, your brain is getting dopamine from you just consistently pushing out these ideas without actually executing on them. The confronting thing about being alone, especially for a longer period of time, is that every single day you are being confronted with the fact that the only real thing you can do is work. You can't really talk about it, can't really do anything except opening up that laptop or going to the gym or doing whatever your purpose may be and working on it, sculpting it, building it. And as we all know, that part is where the magic happens. It's not in the talking, it's not in the planning. The magic happens when you're building. So that's just a quick inspiration of the day. You guys know what I always kind of do right now is to show you guys the crib real quick. So this is like a super small, 2 floors, I guess, mini crib, but it's not really that big at all, to be honest. The thing that it is though, is effective. Like, this shit is convenient as fuck. I walk up, stairs here, boom, coffee there, little pool there, little couch that I don't use, and then a bathroom right there. And even though it's only been 7 days, I've gotten a lot of progress done. And the people on my team know that. The people that work for me know that. If you want to work with me, check the description, and I'll see you guys in the next fucking video. Stay focused, stay grounded, and don't be afraid to be alone. Peace.